teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Today we are coming here with couple shop at a buyer shops. So she did have kind of two pieces of content I was going to look at today. It was this pre-recorded one that she's got on her Biza show. She's changed the name, I can't remember, but her other channel. And she's got a live she did eating noodles because she only made $600 this month, which I'm figuring the title must be sarcastic towards someone because it's categorically untrue, but you know. However, now that I'm looking at this and I was looking at the live, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do both today. So I'm probably just gonna do the pre-recorded video now, and I will try and get a react, maybe not a full react, maybe more a recap of the other one up tomorrow if I get a chance, okay? So let's take a look at this. This background music is extremely loud. There are so many of these malls across the Middle East because like malls are a massive thing here in terms of something to do. It did make me laugh a little bit. Lulu hypermarket. Oh, that's the store I shop in. If you have followed me for a while, back when I was in Saudi Arabia, I did a shopping at the hypermarket like vlog thing. It was a Lulu's hypermarket that was in Jeddah. So we do also have Lulu's here in Oman. They're all a very similar experience, but it's always nice to see something you recognize. I don't know what Grand Hyper is. It's probably just a local thing. Excite is an electronic shop. And then of course McDonald's.
Just ice cream. Yeah?
Not the same as the Lulu supermarket behind her.
Please.
She has like her background music recently, doesn't she? This place that she is showing here, I know it must be like a local tat shop. It sounds so bad. Basically just a cheaply made goods. It's like a department store, but it's really just a huge hanger style thing. I went to one in Jeddah and I actually loved it. When you just need something cheap and they're really good for that, but the quality is exactly what you'd expect from like, it's been bought in cheap from China or wherever. I actually think I might have, perhaps in another vlog I did, I'll see if I can link these down below, sorry, if you care at all. But right before I was leaving, I had to go and get a suitcase, and I went to a store like this. There was one near where I lived called, it had two names. It was either Space Mall or China Mall, depending on who you spoke to. And it was just like this. It had it had like floors of clothing, and then it had a toy section and like a homeware goods section, imposter perfume, like suitcases, and they're just much cheaper than you usually see around. Like, not great quality, but it doesn't need to be when you're looking for certain things. Yeah, it looked exactly like this. Mine was a bit bigger because it wasn't underground, it was over 3 floors, but just like this. And the fact that the signage is not bilingual. Usually most modern places will do it, but cheaper places like this don't always. It's that special kind of ugly you get in some of these kinds of clothes. Doesn't seem that cheap though. That flowered thing there was 5 Kuwaiti dinar. And I think that's about like 12 quid, something like that. I'm gonna have to check exchange rates in a minute. I'm surprised they don't have more colourful ones. This seems to all be part of the floor experience she's showing us here. So when she says a buyer shop, it's probably just, if it were a fancier and it were a department store, it would be a section. Black is overwhelmingly the standard for a buyer's, but usually there was like a section with colours in at least. Oh, I suppose she's got a little section there, yeah. I'm trying to look at the That's not very clear. You probably can't see this in the insert. This was quite shocking to me, unless I've misunderstood this sign. That pink sale tag thing, I believe, says 23 dinar. That's expensive. I'm going to have to check exchange rates. I don't actually trust my knowledge here. Kuwaiti dinar. Yeah, £61.93. Now, the exchange rate they give you on here is always slightly better than you'd actually get. But 60 quid in a place like that for an abaya? No, surely not. Like, to give you a comparison, in Saudi Arabia, when I was buying abayas, there was a mall called Flamingo Mall. And at the top, like it was a mall, it didn't have that much choice in stores. It wasn't a very good mall. But on the bottom layer, it had all the regular stuff. And on the top layer, it was mostly abaya shops. And if you wanted a cheaper abaya, you'd go there. But because there were lots of stores, you'd have a bit more choice. But I think I'd spent about 100 SAR on an abaya. And yeah, it was kind of a cheap place. You could get more expensive. You could also get slightly cheaper. But the ones I got, I ended up spending between probably 100 and 120 SAR, which comparatively is somewhere between 20 and 25 pounds. Yeah, so we're talking about a third of the price. And given that obviously it's Kuwait, the wearing of abaya it's a very common occurrence, it makes no sense that it would be that expensive, especially when she's in a place that is clearly catering to people on a lower budget, which is what this clearly is doing. Oh, for a minute I thought the dirt on the mirror was on her, and I was like, why would you go out like that? But no. One thing I was going to say, sorry, obviously clothing can be as expensive as you want it to be. There's a huge range. If you go in and get like a designer abaya, it's going to be massively expensive. But for a bog standard, cheaply made off the rack like this, 60 quid? No. Don't get your abaya trapped. Tom and Jerry restaurant. Oh, interesting. When I saw the sign Grand Hyper, I don't think I was expecting that. Oh, she's shaky. Look, I will be the first to admit it's really hard when you're trying to vlog not to be shaky like that. I completely 100% understand why it's shaky. But this is actually her job, and she's been doing it for a while, and especially now that she's out and about, like, invest in a gimbal or something, you know, just to smooth out the experience.
There's a Wendy's here. I didn't know that.
Is there Wendy's in Amman? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check that. Usually if it can come to one Middle Eastern country, it can usually be found around the GCC, but I'll check it. I don't think I've ever seen one.
But I'm not here to try Wendy's. I want to try stuff I haven't tried.
Bear in mind she sits and eats fried chicken later. Oh no, what's that later in this vlog? Maybe.
Something like this would cover me fully.
Why would you need a coat like that though? Something that always gets me here, when you go into malls right now, because it's winter season, they're literally just importing what's there. So it's all like thick jumpers, but it's still really hot outside. So if you're traveling, I understand it, but why would you need it here? I have heard tell if you go up into the mountains, it does get cold, but just on a day-to-day sense, I don't want all the winter clothes.
So last night you saw us go to Dream Mall for some abayas and clothes shopping, and today we returned to check out the Lulu supermarket.
She should go into Max Fashion, again available everywhere. Goes right up into plus sizes if she needed it, and it's also reasonably priced.
Actually wanted to show you guys a couple of different grocery stores where people buy food here in Kuwait. So we're going to take you to a private owned place, the Lulu supermarket, and a co-op, which is government owned.
I feel like this isn't necessarily a fair comparison because Lulu's is not native to Kuwait. I'm assuming if it's a government owned in Kuwait, that it would be, because Lulu's is an international brand. I believe it's owned by who? An Indian guy? They tend to have a huge range of like Indian sweets and Indian clothes and things. I believe the owners might be Indian. So I don't necessarily think the problem is so much private versus co-op, public, government owned as it is international versus national. We do have a few different big brands here in Oman. We have Lulu's, which is the one I favor because that's one I used in Saudi. We have Carrefour, tends to be everywhere. They were also in China when I was there. Big French supermarket brand. You get a lot of import food there. A little bit more expensive, but lots of import food. And then you have the more local ones. We have one here called Nesto, which is styled very similarly to Lulu's, but the inside tends to be a little less impressive, a little less clean. The choice is a little more limited, but it's also a little cheaper. I don't know if Nesto is homegrown. I don't know if it's Omani or if it's another brand that's just come in and it's a little bit cheaper, but those are the ones we see most frequently here.
Let's check it out. We need lots of fries.
Why?
Al Marie is
I went grocery shopping today. This is the milk I bought. In that package, actually, the 4 cartons.
very popular dairy company here.
You say
They have this crap.
Common, I would say. It's one of the most common dairy brands.
Cheddar cheese spread. Very popular here.
It is, actually. They also sell it in a can, which freaks me out a little bit.
Interesting to see crab. Yeah, Al Marie yogurt. Very popular. Very good. Their milk. Milk and Lebanon is very popular here. There's a whole section of Lebanon, which is like a milk drink. Starbucks. Nice.
Why is she surprised by Starbucks? I'm assuming at this point she's been to a few more. She must have seen Starbucks in the country. It is everywhere, but she must have seen it. It's literally like Starbucks. The coffee pods are also really popular because the pod machines are very, very common here.
Starbucks is everywhere. Lots of cheese, my favorite.
She's really obsessing on the cheese today. Is it just because she can't get as much of the other things she likes that she's focusing in on one thing like this?
Here's the whole craft section. We don't have this. We have craft cheese, but not this kind. Whoa. Cheese spread. Oh, cool. Sandwich cheese.
Yep, that looks like it's been imported from England, the Wensleydale. It's always weird to see Christmas stuff here, although I'm quite excited that Christmas can be a thing here. It couldn't be in Saudi. Have I said that before? I feel like I've said that before. I bought my Christmas tree the other day. I meant to put it up earlier today. I might do after I've finished reacting.
String cheese.
Why is that the thing that
Look
shocks
at all
her?
this curry cheese. Very popular here.
These little blocks of cheese, and they are a lot like kind of the Laughing Cow. You can't really use them like as an ingredient. They are just there as like a little snack or part of a lunchbox or something. They come in those tiny little cubes.
I love it, like Laughing Cow. Actually, the Al Marie brand is a lot tastier, in my opinion, than the curry. Interesting, eh? This is popular in the Arab world, Barbican. It's a fruity, carbonated drink. It's like
These kinds of things, and that brand particularly, you see them on the shelves as well. They're basically kind of a beer replacement because you can't have alcohol, but it's same kind of shaped bottle sold in the same kind of way, just a carbonated beverage. Sometimes you'll get malt beverages that are alcohol free, so it's kind of just a non-alcoholic version for people who want to socialize.
actually really good. You like Barbican? Yeah. It's good. These are various juices here.
Those juices are not good.
Lemon mint.
There's a lot of types, but the Al Marie juices are not good. They're very processed. The lemon mint isn't bad, or maybe it's just a mental thing with me because to me, lemonade isn't trying to be a fresh juice, and so I can accept it more, but all the others, even when they say like no added sugar, they taste processed.
Christmas decorations.
Yay!
These Doritos are interesting. Cheeto Doritos.
Oh yeah, I saw those the other day. Something that this reminds me of though, there's a thing here with special offers where, and I've seen it in other countries as well, let's say like here it's a special offer, it's buy one get one, which is a really common thing. Rather than giving you a discount on a thing, they'll give you more of the thing. So instead of being like 20% off, you do sometimes get like reductions and things, but it's really common just to bundle 2 packets together and be like, buy one, get one, there you go. Or get this smaller bottle of oil with the bottle of oil you're buying.
I don't have those. Tomato ketchup, my favorite. And French cheese. Yum.
This confused me so much. Why is she recording what's on the car TV while she's on the why? Is this just her idea of B-roll? I wish if she were going to do this background noise all the time, she'd just lower the volume slightly just so it doesn't assault you so much.
This is the laundry detergent here. Persil. There's multiple floors here.
That's also really normal in large stores like hypermarkets like this. They'll have, in Lulu's here, you have groceries on one side, you have kind of home goods and tools and things on the other side, and then when you go upstairs it's things like clothing and furniture. Some places will do all groceries at the bottom, and then you'll go upstairs and it's all the home goods and things like that. Bigger places will also sell like white goods, washing machines, refrigerators. They'll have a computer section, so that's why they tend to separate.
Dish soap, popular here. Fairy.
Do they not have fairy liquid in, we call it fairy liquid in England. Do they not have fairy liquid in Canada? I would have thought they would. It's very popular in the UK.
It's for ladies. I need to dye my hair actually.
What?
My hair's coming back, so.
What? No shade. I wear a wig, no shade, but she shaved her head right before she left. She's only been there a few weeks and she has hair loss. Her hair's A, not going to have come back so much she needs to dye it, and B, she covers it up. Why would you bother damaging your hair and wasting the time and money dyeing your hair if no one's going to see it?
These. This is a really good price for fabric softener.
Can't see that price.
Waterproof mascara. I really needed these.
She is going to regret that purchase. I tell you now, any of the local makeup wipes, I don't know this brand particularly, any of the wipes like this, there's 120 as well, my God, they are going to be bad. They don't remove makeup well. It's like how in the UK, we have a brand called Simple, and their whole thing is like, oh, we're more natural and all of that. They don't touch waterproof mascara. I don't care what it says on the packet, doesn't even touch it. My waterproof mascara is fairly hardcore. You're gonna need to battle. And there's no way she's gonna enjoy that product.
1 KD and 650 films. Translates to like $5 maybe.
I'm checking it. I feel so suspicious, but that can't be right. I'm sorry. 1.6 to sometimes because I'm basically filtering this through 3 currencies, because I go, okay, this in pounds, and therefore I think, okay, it'll be about this in Canadian, but you can't really do that because exchange rates can be so different. But if I do 6.96 Canadian dollars. Okay, so it's nearly $7, because it's no wonder she has trouble budgeting. Oh, sorry to stop you again. That reminds me, she had a post where she was raging a little bit about reactors, about FFG, but in the name of all reactors, that I think she has now deleted, where she's been like, why would I pay in Canadian when the dinar is worth 4.4 more? And I'm sitting here like, do you not understand how exchanging money works? If the dinar is worth 4.4 Canadian, you will get a dinar when you switch it from the Canadian. You're not losing or gaining money. And yes, you can pay for the exchange rate depending on how it goes. I do benefit from that at the moment because the exchange rate for pounds, the pound is very weak. I get more money when I exchange it over. But she doesn't seem to understand how exchanges work. The way she describes it, she was like, why would I use 1 when I could get 4.5? And I'm like, yeah, but you exchange them. They're worth the same. Honey.
Carts alone. Ghost cart.
She is very confident that that is going to stay stuck to the flat escalator. Sometimes the magnetism fails and your cart decides it wants to go on a walk. Be careful.
Home Alone cart. They really like Nutella and Kinder here.
Oh, look, there's all the Starbucks stuff that I'm sure you must have seen everywhere else.
There's a whole Kinder section.
Oh, it is true though. Kinder, Kit Kats, Galaxy, Nutella. It's a big thing.
My favorite. This brand.
Oh, I've tried those. They're quite nice. It's one of those brands where you have a rich tea biscuit and then the whole thing is more chocolate than biscuit because it has a coating. They're nice.
Yum. Chocolate cookies?
Yeah.
Hazelnut.
Yeah.
You guys love hazelnut chocolate here, like Nutella, Kinder. It's so delicious. I want to try some of this nougat. I love nougat and caramel. Our cart so far?
That is a lot of chocolate.
Maltesers. Galaxy.
Those are good.
Galaxy is the superior chocolate. Fight me.
Hazelnut. Ripple Galaxy, yum.
My next choice.
Yalla. So we're at a co-op store with...
Can we talk for a moment about the face covering? Can we? Here is the thing. She tried doing this before and then she took it off because she was like, eh. I'm guessing when she bought a bias, she bought a face covering. Later, when she does her noodle stream, she's taken the face covering off. So this is purely performative because the privacy of the internet is not a thing. It's a contradiction in terms. So when you're on social media, that is considered public by most people, even though Chantal uses it as her own personal diary. So either she has to be wearing that in all her lives, or she needs to take it off her face. There's no kind of maybe in between here. You either wear it or you don't. Because again, it's not just there as a fashion cosplay item, it has a meaning and it's connected to beliefs. And so all these things she says about, oh, well, belief is very personal, and yes it is, but this is purely performative. And it irritates me because the fact is you can be dressed in a way that's completely acceptable in public, using Western clothes even. I pointed out in a video she did at one point, she panned past and there was a girl just walking down the street. And this girl was just wearing a t-shirt, some loose pants. The t-shirt showed her arms but not her shoulders, didn't show her cleavage, wasn't flashing leg. Perfectly acceptable. No problem at all. There's no reason that she has to wear all the stuff she wears as long as she is covered. So this face thing, if she doesn't have a belief behind it, there's no need.
Which is government funded versus private. So the prices are a bit cheaper here. Just trying to show you a variety of different grocery stores they have here. Fruit and nut, my favorite.
More chocolate.
Fruit and nut.
Jesus, more chocolate.
Snack, those are good.
Dairy milk, bubbly.
Like an Aero bar, kinda.
how much do you think she is dying not getting the amount and the variety of fast food she usually does? Because she's in a weird dynamic with him, yeah? Where they are complete strangers, pretty much. Yes, they claim to be married. Yes, they're living together. But their interactions are very uncomfortable. They're clearly not comfortable enough with each other to not worry about stuff. And she doesn't want to pig out in front of him. She's still very much putting up a front. But last time they were in the grocery store, they bought, was it 17 bars of chocolate? And now they're restocking. So I'm guessing that Foodie is having a problem in the night where she would usually just order takeout in the middle of the night. Because remember, she went from takeout 3 to 4 times a day to this. And she doesn't have the options she used to have. I mean, yes, she can get things delivered, but then she's going to have to face the question of why are you getting things delivered at 3 in the morning? And she doesn't want to answer it. So instead, she's just got a mainlining chocolate to try and take care of all those cravings.
Yeah.
Nescafe station. I'm going to get some instant coffee.
I don't like, this is super common, I get what she's getting at. I don't like instant coffee, and it makes me a little sad because it's so overwhelmingly the norm. These or pods, and I don't like instant, and I don't have a machine for the pods. I use the beans, and sometimes the beans can be harder to find because the instant is so popular.
3-in-1 Nescafe. Spices. Hey, Spice Guy.
This brand of spices is really good because it's very affordable. Put it that way, and you get a lot for your money. Just a local brand. Well, I say local, it's everywhere, but
Maggi, very popular here. And I get a couple of these. Lentil. My favorite.
I was going to give her a little bit of shit for that because I was like, you were just in the spice aisle, and lentils and beans are incredibly cheap, here at least. I don't know about Kuwait, but here, compared to other places, they're cheap. Yeah? What am I saying? Sorry, I didn't mean compared to other places. I meant compared to other foods here. So why not just boil a pot and make a lentil soup? I know it's easier to pour the water, but then that also brought me onto the thought of, wait, does Salah have a kitchen in his room set up? I know he has a sink, and the way he was talking before was like, okay, now I've got my air fryer, so I'm assuming he doesn't have an oven. Does he just have like a hot plate? When I was in China, they didn't give us a stove. They gave us a hot plate, which I used to use for stovetop cooking. And then I bought like a tabletop oven, and I used that. And I got by fine. I mean, it was what it was. It did what it needed to do. But it just made me think, wait, what are her options for cooking at home even? Because if he doesn't have a kitchen setup, he probably doesn't have much in the way of pots and pans. Now, they have mentioned their love of pasta before because she got a few bags of it in her last grocery haul. And they pick up more actually in this video, I think. I'm like, what are you going through the pasta that quickly? So I'm guessing he has the ability to like boil water, but I wonder what their kitchen facilities are.
And some more chicken soup. Indomie. I'm addicted. Instant noodles.
How about 10 packs of Indomie?
Sounds good to me. Let's get it. Yalla. All the pasta. You love pasta, don't you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite pasta? The macaroni?
Sure.
Macaroni. Unicorn Fruit Loops. Never tried those. Are those in North America?
Are they? I'm assuming they are. I think they're imported because I've seen those before in my compound supermarket in Saudi. Sorry, forget my words.
Reese's.
More chocolate.
Yummy.
Peanut butter.
Cool, they have like a
I
ranch.
hate peanut butter cups.
Never seen that.
Come at me, I don't care.
Mayonnaise.
One thing I will say as she's filming this is she seems to have become more aware of the dangers of filming people when she shouldn't, because she's cutting everything very, very close to the shelf and she's trying to avoid any identifying shots of people. She's not always like, if you're just spanning across and you're not focusing in on anyone, it's not that big a deal, but you shouldn't record people in public. So she seems to be being a lot more careful with it in this video.
All kinds of mayonnaise. I love these things. They're like real chicken. They're so good.
I realise we don't necessarily trust her food reviews. Americana quality is about as terrible as you would imagine a frozen chicken brand to be. It's really crap. There's a few different brands. There's like Saldia, Americana, and there's another one I can't quite remember. The quality of all of them is absolutely terrible. Just the chicken in it is awful.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Our favorite.
Breaded chicken tender.
Yum. And strawberry Fanta. Yummy. Raspberry Pepsi. I need to try that.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Get one from the back.
Oh, I suppose I don't drink soda, so why would I have seen it?
Where it's colder. There we go. Alright. Labna?
Turkish labna.
Yum. Like a cream cheese. And butter. After the co-op, we stopped by a friend's who made us some Arabic Syrian-style coffee, the dark brown instead of the blonde that I'm used to. It was very fragrant and strong, but very delicious.
If they stop by a friend, why are they drinking it in the car? Why not just drink it at your friend's? Why would you have a cup of it in the car with you?
All right, we're here picking up roasted chicken, Syrian style, right?
Yeah.
And roasting is a healthier way of eating fried style chicken. It uses less oil, and it's a combination of cooking, frying, and I think pressure cooking, but it's also marinated chicken. It's supposed to be tastier and healthier. So roasted chicken, we'll show you when we get home. Yalla.
Fun fact, because I had to look it up because I know I'd heard the term and I was like, I thought it was common in other places as well, and then I started doubting myself. I was like, have I heard it in America or have I just heard it here, and then because it's normal to me I've assumed it's normal in other places, and I didn't want to misspeak, so I looked it up. Broasting is actually a copyright term based on it was either a restaurant or the people who made the technique or something. So other places use a pressure fryer technique but can't use the term roasted, and she's right, it uses less oil and it can give kind of crispier and nicer results in that way.
All right, here's the food. Some fresh pita bread, pickles and greens.
I love that she says fresh pita when you can literally see the wrapper it came out of underneath it.
Hummus. And here's the roasted chicken. It looks very crispy with some fries. And this is standard, they give you this as like a tablecloth to keep clean.
It's actually kind of a good
Your
idea.
table clean.
Hello guys, now I'm gonna try the first bite of the food.
She does not look happy. What's wrong with her? I don't necessarily need the close-up of the half-chewed chicken. I will say, considering they bought it and they got it home, it still sounds very crunchy. So, like, obviously that has done its job. It's kept the crunch. But I think right now, because it's meant to be her and him, she's just kind of teaching him the way of the mukbang, and she's like, well, I do this. But this isn't particularly pleasant food to see.
Yummy.
Maybe.
All she ever says is yummy. It's the safest thing to say.
Try the hummus.
Hummus. So good.
And try the hummus.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with him chewing like that while intensely looking at the camera. This is not doing whatever you think it's doing. Please stop.
You like it?
Hummus is very good with the food.
Yes.
Will make the balance.
Very healthy too. Looks super crunchy.
Oh, the noises. I can hear the jaw.
Juicy, tender.
Wow, it's been a long time since we've done this. Back to the mukbang days where we've just been like, the noise. No, get away from the microphone.
Super crunchy and not oily and greasy.
Oh. That doesn't look pleasant at all. Don't do that. No. That's not making it more appetizing. God, it looks like a crime scene. I thought she was going to bite it. She just shoved it in.
And not greasy and oily like KFC at all.
Yeah, it's more healthy, by the way.
Again, makes me laugh because when I was searching to make sure I definitely understood what roasting was and to see if it was common, what it actually said, and I don't know if this is true for every country to be fair, was that KFC uses a broasting method. They just can't call it broasting because it's copyright. So when she's like, oh, I like that shitty KFC. I mean, she didn't say that. I implied that from her tone. It's cooked the same way.
Ooh, this one's spicy.
Oh, nice.
They've really got nothing to say to each other. Look at them. No! Jesus!
Just fall down in the ketchup.
Well, it hasn't improved its appearance. Why are you showing us so close?
You like ketchup on your chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, then good. That's good news.
Such awkward small talk. They're in love, dudes. Okay, well, I feel like you're welcome is maybe not the correct response, but we'll go with it. All right, so there we are. I'm going to leave you there. I definitely don't have time to go into the one right now. I'll see if she posts anything in the meantime. If she doesn't, and if I have time tomorrow, I will probably look at the live then. Pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.